Nope.
How's it going, everyone? It is Thursday. We are almost to the weekend, and I hope your day is going well. I'm honest, and this is the show to watch, the show to be a part of, the honest experience. Well, if you've been watching our last couple shows, we've been covering everything fraud, everything audit, and the more this progresses, the more things are coming out. Even states at first that I was shocked to even hear getting in the audit game, places like Texas. So glad that Texas is going to audit, get down to more of the nitty gritty and find out what's going on. We got some more details about that. Also, a state that was kind of surprising when I found out that they had completed an audit. And we'll get into more of that here in a minute. But first, I'd like to thank everyone that's been liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. It is people like you that are going to continue to help our little community to grow. So please continue to share. If you haven't, go over to my channel, subscribe, get all the notifications so you could stay up to date. If you've done all that, why don't you bring somebody over, get them to subscribe, make sure they ring that bell so they can get all of the notifications so they can stay up to date as well. All right. Well, we're learning more information about what's going on in Texas with the audit. Now, I will say when I have been covering all this, I've been saying we need to move faster. Texas is one of those places that we'll get into what they're doing, but I don't mind them taking a little bit of time because if this makes sense, Trump won there, and the fraud is basically pointing to one side, which is the liberal side, Joe Biden's side. So, the time that they can take, because that's not really going to change or do anything besides give us the information that we need. So them taking some time and going through and properly looking and seeing if there was something up with these machines or people, especially in these four counties. I think that's great. So why I say that, we getting in here, there's different phases that's going on. And it took me a minute that I'll admit, when I first read this, I was like, they're talking about starting the second phase in spring of next year. And like I said, I'm jumping ahead, but I'll read it and get into it. But at first it's like, no, we need answers now, and we do. But we need movement on these states that were so corrupted that they actually succeeded in stealing them. Something like this, that the damage makes no difference. Yes, maybe it's going to show Trump one even greater, or whatever, and we need that. He deserves that, but it's not going to change anything, any possible outcome. It just can help, and they got the proper people that want to do it. A governor that looks like we can trust. Florida and Texas, man, they're conservative safe havens, I tell you what. So let me get into this instead of rambling. The Texas Secretary of State office is carrying out a forensic audit of the 2020 election results in 4 large counties, including Dallas and Harris counties. The office announced the audit last week, but declined to provide more details until September 28th. Like I said, they're all starting to come out with the details, but they are saying that they've already started. Phase 1 of the review is already underway. The office says the phase involves verifying the accuracy of voting machines, accessing cybersecurity, and pinpointing and removing from your voter rolls and people who cast votes illegally in 2020. When I move on to what I got to talk about for the next state, and Arizona, there is a common factor with dead people, voter rolls, and these machines. These machines play a big role. We've all been hearing about it for the last almost year, but we are really starting to see evidence of the really dirty things. And when we get into the next little tidbit, you'll see what I mean. State officials have received reports from the Electronic Registration Information Center regarding voters who may have voted twice or illegally voted in Texas despite living in another state. This is another common factor. What I think is about a bunch of liberals got paid. There was some talk early on. I personally haven't seen any more. Anybody that's seeing this, please feel free to comment if you've heard more. But I've heard a lot about not only people getting paid to vote for a certain person, but they were getting paid to go to different counties and states and even getting bussed in from the Democrats. And one of the biggest things, we're back in the Georgia runoff there, they were outright telling people to go and hurry up and rent or whatever for the runoff elections. They play dirty, and they play in several different ways. Very smart, and it's taken very smart people, very smart teams, and smart leaders to get that team together to figure this out. Phase 2 of the audits estimate to take place in the spring of next year. That's what I was talking about earlier. It's just like at first it was kind of like spring of next year. But while we already have this gain, they can be taking their time and finding out things that while we have to fastly progress in other states, here they can take the time while we are moving, because we need Trump now. They are moving, and they can take the time to build up a really great case. That's why I'm saying that. I don't know if anybody else like me first hear that. They're like, what the heck? Tired of hearing we're doing this next year. Texas, after you think about it, it's actually kind of good and beneficial to us. Again, phase 2 of the audit estimate to take place in the spring of next year. It is centered on examining the election records from various counts, including 2 of those counties that we talked about, Dallas and Harris. They're going to be doing that to all 4. The Secretary of State official plans to examine all chains of custody forms concerning equipment and all logic and accurate testing records. Depending on the results of the examination, be a full manual recount in the affected precincts or polling locations. The purpose of this audit is to ensure all Texas votes count and have confidence in the election systems in our state, and to address any outstanding issue county election officials may face that undermines the integrity of the election. The officials said in the statement. A spokesman said in the email that the officials won't be hiring or contracting with any outside firms to conduct the audit. The position of Texas Secretary of State is currently vacant. The Harris County judge, a Democrat, told reporters last week that the announcement of an audit by the state is nothing more than a political ploy, a former president, and someone who's trying to curry favor. So they're already casting shade. Trump won Texas in the 2020 election by about 630,000 votes, but said 630,000 votes, but said in a letter to Abbott that he heard that Texas wanted an audit. Your citizens don't trust the election system, he wrote. Texas knows voting fraud occurred in some of the counties. Abbott defending the audit over the weekend. There are audits of every aspect of the government. We have state auditors. There are federal auditors for the way that the government operates work. Businesses that are public companies are subject to annual audits, he said on Fox News Sunday. Why do we audit everything in this world? But people raise their hands in concern when we want to audit elections. Very smart, which is fundamental into our democracy. There's a little bit more. Epical Times, Fox News, Newsmax, CNN had a little bit of that, but liberals, they don't really like to talk about that. Now, moving on. So, to end with that real quick, so Texas is going to move this in different phases. They're going to take the time and actually look at it. And you already have the liberal screaming, out victimhood. And so makes you wonder. I can honestly say that if I felt like I won 5+ million more votes than somebody else, I really wouldn't care. Maybe secretly, if there was stuff coming out like now that's coming out, it would kind of a little bit bother me. But if I really truthfully believed that I won, I would even probably be like, go ahead, run it, show that I won. I don't even care if I won by one. I won. But everything the left is doing is actually different than that, opposite than that, and that's usually a sign of a cheating loser. But anyways, going to Mesa County in Colorado. You guys been hearing about this? They did a forensic audit over there in that county. Um, this thing is over 80 pages long, and it's only report one. See if you can see that. It's only report one. There's supposed to be more reports coming out, so they're not done. And it gets very interesting. We're still combing through everything. I'm still combing through everything. It's just me. I don't got a big old team, even if I'm acting like I do. It's just me. So, let me read you this. This is from Tina Peterson, Mesa County Clerk and Records, September 17th, 2020, Boards of Commissions. I'll read this to you so you don't have to sit there and pause or squint or anything, but I want you to see. This is from that Boards of Commissions. This is for that county. She's concerned. Enclosed is the first report from the cybersecurity experts who have analyzed thoroughly through the two forensic images of the drive of the DVS system in my office, which we use for management of the 2020 election. Because the report documents a substantial amount of data destruction during the May 25th trusted bill, this is after the election, conducted by the Secretary of State office and the vendors, I want to get this in your hands immediately. I just received this report today, I believe September 17th. From my review of this summary, it does appear that my concerns were more than justified. As you know, the legal duty to preserve election records fell solely to me and my officials. The extensive amount of data required to preserve was instead destroyed and done in a way that was totally beyond my control or knowledge. She's heading this up, and she's the head person of all this, and she didn't even know this was going right underneath her nose. Devious. And see, she's not trying to hide it. She's being opened up. So it was some devious acts. Thanks to the pre-trusted bill, these images I had commissioned in May, these datas have been preserved in full compliance with my obligations under federal and state law, preserving the integrity of our county election records and archives are permitting a forensic audit if one were conducted. According to the report, the forensic examiner has deemed this system and procedure cannot meet the certification requirements of the state of Colorado and should not have been certified for use in the state. Obviously, this is highly relevant to any decision whether to continue to use these systems in our county. You already know of my opposition to continue the use of these systems, which prevent me from discharging the duties of my office and requirements of the law. The experts conducting the forensic analyzing and apparently issuing additional reports in the near future. And of course, I will promptly deliver this to you. In the meantime, I would welcome a discussion on these findings and proper course forward for our county to preserve the integrity of our election. She's concerned. Now, you can go find these and look this up. I won't sit here and make a 30-minute video, hour video, reading and going over everything. But I want you, here's some common factors, okay? Server disk portion structure overwritten, website server log file missing, server Microsoft SQL server install log file missing, server Microsoft SQL server log files missing, EMS server Dell server updates missing, server administrator web cache log file overwritten, server web cache log files overwritten, server SQL server management studio log files overwritten. This goes on. System users are missing. Directory logs files missing. Windows Defender log files missing and overwritten. Files before images that were deleted. Significant number of log files missing. It goes on, and there's a pattern. When you are listening to the audit hearing, the Dominion machine had a lot of these same factors. They'd say, first of all, which I didn't get into, but they do talk about several different server hub networks there. They tell you that not only can they not be hooked up or access the internet, they were here in Colorado and in Arizona. They were files right before overwritten. When all this started coming out, there had been no updates. And before I forget, I know that I'm jumping. Hopefully I can file. Okay. So, look at this. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see that. This over, I'm looking at the screen backwards. This over here is before the Dominion update. This over here is after the update. This is a big thing to me, I think, because this is a reoccurrence. So before the Dominion update, there was no updates, no antivirus updates in Arizona. And then all of a sudden there were these weird files getting changed, overwritten, and deleted. You have 3 key files here that can, control and do certain things. There's multiples. But over here, now you have 7. These files are going in and being overwritten or changed to start manipulating all these things that they are finding out. Here is an imaging of these drivers that they are scanning. And this is a before. And they highlighted this because it is the same drivers. Hopefully you guys can see all that. But they went in and not only manipulated over their networks, small local area networks, they were accessing this and changing in and changing files to be written and stuff so they can delete votes coming in, change them, rewriting the scripts and doing it all before, during, and after. They were doing all this to hide their tracks or to cheat. And Colorado, that was from what I understood, was pretty much a Democrat stronghold. Joe Biden. And, they they happen to find a lot of fraud going on too. And this right here, 80, I think exactly 83 pages of this report. And they're going to be doing at least another report from what the county clerk Tina Peterson wrote in her letter, and what is in here. They're not done. There is a lot more going on. So you need to be looking out for Colorado. That is a state that shocked me, and the fact that they are doing this audit. There's people with integrity there. So as more comes out, we'll stay on top of this. We'll do our best. We are going to comb through this more, because there's just it's very outlined and detailed and broke down into key different sections. So if you want to look this up yourselves, they put on a lot of information. They give you charts breaking down everything. Again, I don't know what you could see, but just a lot of information. I mean, that it just coming through it is a lot. So we're going to stay on top of that. This is pretty much like when I went through this, is just the same things that Arizona's talking about. There's corruption definitely in the machines, and I think, just putting my own opinion, 2 cents out there, I think that the Democrat game has been able to get the dead to vote. Maybe, I don't know how far it goes back, but maybe learning how to get people to vote in different counties and different states. But they needed something massive this time, and they knew it from 2018, maybe even 2016, but 2018, that they barely, pulled through on some of those cheating ones. And so they employed Dominion. But it's funny because Dominion goes around threatening all these lawsuits to Sidney Powell, Mike Lindell, several of Trump's administration. I think Rudy, Mayor Rudy, man, his last name is escaping me at the moment, but where is all that now? Where are all those lawsuits going on now? And I can tell you, I just saw the mayor multiple times on TV. He doesn't seem to worry about it. Mike Lindell, he's got a website and he's always on TV, and he's a part of a little thing here on YouTube as well with Right Side Broadcasting. Shout out to you guys. You guys are doing God's work. Not a sponsor, just in case you need to know that. But he doesn't look worried either. So, and I know something that we're getting some more information about. Those that might not know, you guys can also get some information. Hey, help me out too. Fill me in. They're gearing up to go to Supreme Court over all this stuff with what Mike Lindell has, and you never know, but he's sure, him and a couple other guys I frankly never heard, but they're on his website a lot. Seems like good fellows. And then General Flynn, they think it's going to be a 9-0. So we're going to stay on top of that as well. But hopefully we're giving you guys information. We're not out here to give false hope. I'm not out here to do any type of conspiracy theories. I hope I never get into that stuff or fall for any of that stuff. And not all conspiracy theories are fake. But I bring this up because I was staying away from going over these findings and stuff because you know what's been going on. It's not the fear of the attack, but just so many people's hopes were getting up and then they were getting upset and stuff. So I didn't want to be a part of that. But after the findings, this is so in your face with facts and evidence. We have deemed it that we're going to follow it and stay up with it, we won't bring you anything that's not accurate or been in actual reports or findings. Now, if those people that are the professionals, if something comes out of it, you can blame them if they're wrong. But so, anyways, that just to give you a little understanding why. Now we're all of a sudden talking about it and everything. I do not want to. This channel is not about news. I know it seems like that. This channel is not about. It's not about anything but bringing conservatives together, bringing them under a banner, bringing entertainment. I'm just one guy waiting in for you guys to help. So anyways, that's why, I felt like, this is important. I make no excuse. I'll tell you right into your face. I'm a Trump supporter and I'm a Trump supporter for life, but, we will always bring the facts and evidence, and, those facts and evidence have always been with one side so far. We thank you for those that are patiently with us and watching. And, I quite understand that there are a lot better people out there that are a lot more entertaining, a lot sharper and a lot better that could be up here. But I'm ready to step up, and I'm waiting on you. Once we get more of you guys to start coming in, and I don't mean, just give me your subscribe or your likes or your comments. I want you to guys actually be part of solutions, telling not just for the country, not just for the show, but be involved in both, where we can have ideas and come up with actions to follow, and also you guys to be part of the show to finally take it where it needs to be. This is just putting stuff up, biting time, growing bigger for somebody to finally pay attention to me. So please pay attention to me. No, but it is. I want to you guys to understand that this is a channel that you put into it, it's going to give back. I'm not just talking about little giveaways and stuff. I actually want this to be a family, a true family, that we are doing things together. And when we find the right people, find the right, community, even if that means I got to take a back seat in front of this camera, I'm willing. This is a brand for us. So know that. Hopefully when you guys are going through my videos, this part will stick out. Because I really want you guys to know that. And on that note, I thank you, beautiful conservatives and Americans. We appreciate you here. We support you. Continue to send us your thoughts and prayers. And with that, if you liked what you saw, if you liked what you heard, or you want to help this community send a rightful message of the conservative traditional values that we are running on this Trump train and we are ready to explode and go further, then please continue to share. Subscribe if you haven't. Make sure you get all of the notifications so you can pop up every time that you like, share, comment, watch. You're investing in this movement. You are investing in yourself. Seriously. Bring people over. Get them to subscribe. Help me be salesman for this channel. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time, and God bless.
Nope.